Greetings. Just assume and believe that your desire is already done. You see, whatsoever you want to accomplish in this life, whatever goal, whatever dreams you have to understand the principle of sowing and reaping. That is why when you apply the law of assumption with the understanding that thoughts become things, and that we become what we think about most of the time, you would know that as long as you assume that which you desire and you have the feeling that it is done, that feeling is the belief of which I am speaking about. So what's gonna give you that kind of strength to believe so much in something that you haven't seen, but you're just assuming it? Well, this is where faith comes in. You see, faith is an understanding of how the visible and the invisible works, how the physical and the non-physical works. It is an understanding of the principle of creation and how creation has its own laws and its own formulas. Okay? So everything is based on law and order. So when you understand the law and order of sowing and reaping, then you will know when you have an assumption or when you assume something, that is you planting the seed. But the seed itself is the thought, and that thought is a burning desire, and a burning desire is a spiritual sensation. You're feeling something in your spirit that your spirit would like to experience in this physical three-dimensional world, because your true essence is spirit. Yes, you're a spirit, and you're having a human experience. And that is why for you to grow and expand in life and have the things that you desire in life and live your dream life, live the best version of your life on this planet, you have to learn to walk with law and order. Know that the universe is governed by certain law and order, and know that you, having this human experience, you're governed by certain law and order. And remember the law of the mind, which is the law of mentalism. Understand how the mind works. Remember, everything was first a thought. Everything was first an idea. Everything was first imagined. So, using your imagination is a form of assumption, because you haven't seen the hard and objective fact as yet, but you're remaining faithful to the unseen. You see, for many, many years, I tried to understand the principle of faith. You see, I have to be very much honest with you. I was trapped and tied up in secular Christianity that was pointing me to look outwardly. And I would listen to preachers speaking about faith, but I didn't realize why every time I put exactly what they were saying to work, that nothing was working for me. And it was very much frustrating, and I knew something was wrong. And I was trying to point my finger at what was wrong, but I couldn't do it. I couldn't figure out what was wrong. There was a preacher by the name of Kenneth Hagin. Man, I used to listen to that man all the time, because he always preached on faith. Plus all the other preachers, they used to preach on faith. And at that time, I used to look at TBN and look at everything in my space was basically mostly about God, the gospel. So my television couldn't go on and other stations, though you had, other choice and so on. Most of the time, my television in those days used to just be on, Christianity. That's all I would listen to, morning, noon, and night, and so on. You see, and I tried to figure out this thing about faith, because I would see these men, they was living a certain kind of life, which is a life of abundance, a life of prosperity, good health, and so on, you know what I mean? And these men who are speaking about, who I was listening to, these preachers were multi-millionaires. And I tried to figure out their principle of faith. But I realized it's blind faith. Anything that is pointing you or anyone that's pointing to look outside of yourself, they're pointing you into a mindset of lack, mediocrity, and scarcity. And it doesn't matter how much they teach this principle to you, and this principle is true. The thing is, if you do not have enough self-belief, and you have more self-doubt than self-belief, if you have more guilt and shame, judgment and condemnation, more than you have love and acceptance, if you have more of those negative traits, what you think will control, the negative traits will control. And so you're possessed by what? Something that is bringing you no ease. So it's a dis-ease. So a demon is a dis-ease. So when you have the demon of poverty, lack, mediocrity, and scarcity, and you have that mentality, it's a serious disease because it's affecting your psyche. So my brother, my sisters, all you have to do is assume and believe in who? Your higher self, your God self, your creative self, your imaginative self. And the ideas will come to you with what to do. And most of the time, once you set something in motion or you plant a seed and the seed begins to grow and it starts to bring a harvest, it is just expansion and growth, expansion and growth. Then you will understand the miracle or the principle of the 5 loaves and the 2 fishes, because you would understand the power of your subconscious and your conscious mind, and you would understand how when you operate in this physical 3-dimensional world, you use your 5 senses where you can see, you can taste, you can touch, and you can smell. But you have to understand when you go into the spiritual and non-physical world and you're walking with the invisible source and you want to transmute that into matter, you have to understand that you have to use the 5 senses in the non-physical world. That's why you have to practice visualization. You have to practice to calm your mind on through meditation, scripting, affirmation, whatsoever it takes in terms of doing the rituals, because they're basic principles to teach you self-mastery. The basic principles to teach you self-discipline, how you need to discipline yourself and be in control of your mind. So my brother, my sisters, everything is possible to you. All you have to learn to do is learn to assume it. Okay? Because you're not going to assume something if you don't have the feeling or the desire. So it comes from the spirit. Okay? You assume it and you believe it. You remain faithful to the unseen. Okay, the ideas will come to you to tell you what to do. So you become more of a doer and not just a hearer. You're not just going to write down things and believe things going to fall in your lap like that. No, there's certain actions that you would take, inspired actions, they will come to you. Then you will know that truly imagination do create reality. And all you have to do is assume and believe your desire is done, because everything is already done. You just have to vibrate to that level of frequency to attract it into your reality. So with that being said, my brother and my sisters, I want to thank you very much for listening to me. I want to say to you, if this is the very first time that you listen to me, what I'm saying, if it really makes sense to you, if it really resonates with you and you haven't subscribed already, I definitely want to encourage you to subscribe, to like, to comment, or to share this video. Also, if you like to follow me on Instagram, you like to follow me on TikTok, you can definitely follow me at Black Mad Guru. And I will also encourage you to get my latest book, which is called The Secret Vagina, Mystery of the Virgin Birth. You see, so much people believe and the living and the physical level that they believe the virgin birth have to do with a physical woman named Mary, who bring forth physically in the physical 3-dimensional world, but fail to understand that they are physical, psychological, and spiritual. So if you can explain how you can bring forth physically, why can't you explain how you can bring forth psychologically? How can you bring forth spiritually? So you need to know how you can bring forth psychologically and spiritually. Well, the good news is that everything that comes from science and technology, remember, it was first a thought, it was first an idea, it was first imagine, it came from someone's mind, and you have that same mind, but it's just a different arrangement of that same mind. So the rich man, the poor man, the beggar man, the thief is one mind, but just different arrangement of that same mind. So let me say, if this is the first time and what I'm saying resonates with you and you haven't subscribed already, let me say it again: to subscribe, to like, to comment, or to share this video. Also, if you can follow me on Instagram, you can follow me on TikTok at Black Mad Guru. And as I mentioned before, and I mention it again, The Secret Vagina, Mystery of the Virgin Birth, make sure you get that book, plus Spiritual Recipe for Better Living, plus many other books like How to Turn Water into Wine. Your mood is your fortune. And not forgetting the 66 Books of Magic, the Overcomer's Bible, where Jesus have been omitted, and there's a space for you to write your name, which is I am. Do you know that your name is I am from generation to generation? And you can never say I am and not referring to yourself. And the name of God is I am. And universal question of life would all be, who am I? And when the answer comes, what will it be? I am that I am, which is to really say, I am whatever I believe myself to be. For as a man thinketh in his heart, his subconscious mind. As he think in the invisible, so shall it be in the visible. You are the one who is sowing the seed and you're reaping the fruit. Whatever results you're getting in life, you are the cause. And the result is actually the effect. So, my brother, my sister, I definitely encourage you to get this kind of knowledge, okay? Also, if you like to become a part of my Patreon community, you're most welcome. And you can become a patron with $5, $10, $15. However, for those who are donating $20 or more, you have access to my course that is called the Inner Sun Science and Technology to Create Your Reality Consciously. And along with that is a bonus course and self-concept. And that's why I'm teaching you that the sun, as in the S-U-N, parallels the human imagination. And the human imagination parallels the sun. But without the sun, there's no life and there's no light. And without the human imagination, there isn't anything made that was made. And you are told in the Bible, in Psalms 84:11, that the Lord thy God is a sun and a shield, and no good thing will he withhold from you. And then you're told in Malachi 1 to the sun of righteousness, the light that is within you. Your creativity is speaking about. The light of righteousness that is within shall arise in you with what healing in his wings. When you tap into your creativity and your ability, and you're using it for the upliftment of yourself and the upliftment of all of humanity, definitely it's going to help you to live prosperously and sumptuously, because it's going to help you to create your reality consciously. So, my brothers, my sisters, I've been dropping a lot of gems for you. Therefore, my last encouragement to you is to make sure that you check out all of the links that are down below, and let your intuition, it's your choice, let your intuition lead you and guide you into what to do. Take action before it's too late. So with that being said, I want to say peace, love you all,